In January 1975 at the National Parachute Championships, joint effort, a team of skydivers from 3 eastern states defeated strong competition to become national champions and won the honour to represent Australia at the forthcoming World Championships in Germany. Following this success, team members returned to their home states to raise the finances needed to train, equip and transport themselves to Warendorf, Germany in September. Team training commenced in July near the Queensland town of Kilkevin, 250 kilometres northwest of Brisbane. Using a twin-engine Beech aircraft, the members made well over 100 training jumps, sharpening their skills steadily and lowering the times taken to put together the difficult 10-man freefall star. During their stay, team members were financially assisted by the 400 townspeople who raised over $2,000 to help defray the high training costs. This, together with earlier assistance from the Rotary Clubs of Sylvania and Picton near Sydney, assured Australian participation at the World event. Members travelled to Wilton, west of Sydney, for a final week's training, this time using Caribou aircraft provided by the Armed Services. Sydney Airport by the Army's Green Machine, which was to take part in the 4-man event, and together with a dozen supporters and officials, the team left Australia during September in search of the ultimate parachuting achievement. Favoured to win was the United States team with its wealth of experience, while the French, German and Canadian teams were also highly rated. In all, 22 nations were to compete, coming from as far apart as Norway, Sweden, North and South America and Australasia. Arriving in Holland, the Australians made their way to Germany to prepare for the coming events. September 6, Warendorf, Germany, and the World Championships are officially opened. Following the opening ceremony, a parade of the national flags of the competing teams, each flag arriving in the centre of the drop zone, carried by a team member. The Australian team, together with their team leader Louis Johnson and Federation President Claude Gillard, plus Australia's international judge Sandy Nesbitt, posed for their official photographs, the Italian team practiced some of its more intricate free-fall parachute manoeuvres. As joint effort had never jumped from helicopters previously, their exit procedures had to be drastically reorganised. This entailed many hours of practice, evaluation and discussion, and continued throughout the competition. The Australians caused quite a stir, as most members were equipped with a revolutionary Australian parachute pack. Designed and manufactured in Sydney by Parachutes Australia, the Trim Pig unit is the smallest and lightest tandem parachute rig in the world, both the main and reserve parachute being carried on the back. The Australian Army's Green Machine, entered in the sequential four-man event, went through its paces on the ground. It was the first time that Australian military parachutists had entered an international event, and augurs well for the future of the sport amongst the military fraternity. Each team had to perform 10 jumps. In the case of the four-man team, a different formation in freefall on each jump. Racing against the stopwatch, they had to complete the manoeuvre in the fastest possible time. Followed the skydivers through powerful telemeters and clocked each jump with electronic timing devices, while France provided a complete video system to back them up and to assist the organisers. Their first jump completed in 16.9 seconds, joint effort finished round one in third place, behind Germany and France, beating the US team by 3 seconds. But with 9 rounds to go, anything could happen. And in skydiving usually does when Bill Kenny from Victoria meets an old friend. More practice for the team before climbing aboard their chopper to contest round 2 under the watchful eye of team leader Louis Johnson. With this sort of advice, the Luftwaffe should surely have won the war. Under the watchful eyes of the judges, joint effort put together a 17.91 second star for round 2. France won this round in 15.46 seconds, with Canada, Germany and the USA close behind. So far, the Australians had surprised the other nations with their professionalism and the precision with which their jumps were completed. Round 3, and joint effort cut their time to 16.33 seconds, the fastest star for that round. This was followed in round 4 by a time of 16.31, again the fastest time for the round. Other teams began to sit up and take notice, and practice time was conducted under the eagle eyes of many onlookers, keen to note the finer points of the all-important aircraft exit. in the hope of shaving seconds off their own team's time. Round 5 was again completed in under 17 seconds, consolidating joint effort's position with the leaders. The next jump, number 6, was almost a disaster with the star formation breaking, then building again in the slower time of 21.91 seconds. Discussion among the team members and with the team leader ironed out the difficulties, and the next jump was completed in 17.8 seconds. Taking a leaf out of Joint Effort's book, the Green Machine also spent considerable time in ground practice. Meals during the day were provided by German Army cooks, though some thought the Army's demolition experts also had a hand in it. More practice for the team before round 8 got underway. Slightly slower this time with 18.9 seconds for the round. The French video unit provided replays of many of the jumps, clearly showing the Americans' style as they cut their times to move back towards the leaders, France and Australia. Starting off extremely well, the Army boys unfortunately lost points in 2 rounds when they failed to complete their assigned formations. Over 40 Australian skydivers travelled to Germany to encourage the teams and to provide moral support and occasional pieces of advice. Machine was not disgraced, however, as only 5 teams managed to perform the difficult sequential event on each round. Coming 12th out of 20 entrants, they will be able to provide others with valuable assistance in the future. Accompanied by John Parker on crutches, the 4-man team made one of their final jumps. The ride back to the drop zone shows how close the skydiving was conducted to the town of Warrendorf and gives an idea of the size and scope of the operations. Into round 9 with the United States, France and Australia battling for supremacy. time of 16.13, the team returns to hear the news that the Americans have gambled on a super-fast star and pulled it off. 12.13 seconds, a new world record. Bird, father of 10-man stars and past leader of the US team, discusses tactics with the Australians. With Green Machine in the air again, the team takes a close interest in round 10. French team, desperately trying to pull the fat out of the fire, blows their last jump. For the French, a disastrous jump. 26.19 seconds. Last round. Joint effort, to the surprise of most nations, is right near the top. The Americans pull off another fast star, this time 14.7 seconds. Australia's last jump is delayed by a rainstorm which sweeps the drop zone in the late afternoon. Team supporters, realizing the strain on the team, watch anxiously as they climb to 10,000 feet for the last jump. One mistake and the effort of over 12 months would be wasted. A 10-man star in under 16.5 seconds, and second place is assured. Rough times are taken on handheld stopwatches, which seem to indicate success, but the team waits till the judges make it final. It's official, the time 15.97, and we've got the silver medals. Out comes the champagne, and it's drinks all round. Logbooks are signed, and so to the prize-giving ceremony, where the medals are given out. Gold to the United States, silver to Australia, and bronze to France, with Germany coming fourth. Watched by US Captain Bud Kruger, the President of the FAI presents his medal to Australian Captain Ian Swinburne. Andy Sikowski receives his from the President of the German Aero Federation. Tony Curl. Meet Director Herbert Dressler congratulates Bruce Bramhill. And he's followed by Peter Stevenson. John Bate, Team Reserve. And the unlucky John Parker. He's followed by Bob Barry, Greg Graham, and Greg Graham. Robin Rose receives his memento and a medal for Peter Eadie. And finally, Team Reserve, Kenny Hills. A silver plate is presented to Team Captain Ian Swinburne. With the tremendous assistance of many friends in Australia, joint effort placed Australia's name firmly among the top in the world of 10-man team skydiving. With their expertise and experience and similar sponsorship to help future teams, let's hope Australia stays at the top.